I real?
Go, man! Let's fucking go!
Fuck,
Don't
we are.
ask questions! Fuck these kids up! Clear out the point! Clear out the campers!
I hear lightsabers.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me! What the fuck?
How do you get a
Down
partner?
quick, get him down!
Is that like 50% health?
Oh, incoming Peter! Incoming Peter!
down.
Fucking dip!
We'll lose
Incoming
mother
Peter!
support
Dip!
if we do not get it back online.
Oh, I think I got
Oh, he's
it.
coming! Oh, what the fuck? What did I get killed by? It literally says killed by in his flank.
Oh, he's fucking choke slamming me.
Fighters.
I got him.
Oh, I got John Cena'd.
You got John Cena.
Shit.
Hey everybody, I'm Vespillo, and I hope you guys are having an absolutely fantastic day because the Star Wars beta has been out for 2 days. The Star Wars Battlefront, it's totally free on Origin. You don't have to pre-order, you don't have to do anything. You can just get the game and play the beta, and there's 2 modes that are unlocked right now. The one I'm playing right now, Walker Assault, and there's kind of like a hardpoint style game mode. It's called Defend the Pod or Drop Pods is the actual name of the game mode. But it's pretty fun. It's a fun game. It's not like the past Battlefronts. The game is definitely Battlefield-esque. It's like that, but it doesn't feel anything like Battlefield. It feels a lot like its own game, and it's a lot of fun. It's Star Wars. It's set in that universe. It has all the heroes and the characters, and it has all the airplanes and the walkers and the AT-ATs and the AT-STs and all those really cool things. So there's a lot to be cool. You know, there's a lot of fun to be had in this game. And just there was an orbital strike that came above us, and we hid in that little bubble shield to keep from getting bombed up. And here I'm like jetpacking a dude and getting all up in his face and going through trenches in this like World War II style Battle of Hoth. And it's all just really, really cool. Right now I'm fighting on the Imperial side and I'm shooting down rebels. And I mean, the whole thing is just a lot of fun. And there's this really cool gun that I'm liking right now called the Cycle Rifle. And it's basically a sniper rifle that's a one-shot rifle that just goes on cooldown basically. So you shoot once and you have to wait like somewhere around 5 to 8 seconds for the thing to come up again. But this thing is a headshot machine. Headshot after headshot after headshot. You just dome people all day long, and it is so much fun. It's a projectile weapon. It's not hit scan, so it does actually take a little bit of getting used to be able to hit accurately and reliably with it, and I'm still not very reliable with it. But man, when it hits, it is just so much fun. This guy, I just shot him through that shield. That shield is the same one that I used to stop that orbital strike in the earlier clip. Basically, the sniper rifle and frag grenades basically go through those shields, but normal blaster weapons don't. So the balance of the game is actually really cool. The whole thing, it felt like they really put some effort into balancing. The problem is on this Walker Assault mode, it's horribly imbalanced to the Imperial side. The Rebels almost never stand a chance. The main problem with it is that it's beatable by the Rebels. It's just that the Rebels have to know exactly what they're doing, and they have to execute really, really well. So if they don't know what they're doing, or they don't execute it well, or if they do know what they're doing but they can't execute, you know, it's just, it's very difficult to win. Because basically there's these uplink points that allow the shields to come down on those big walkers. You can see those walkers. You have to kill those things. The rebels have to stop those, and that's how they win the map. But it's very, very, very hard for them to do so. So it takes a lot of coordination that's almost impossible to come across in pubs, and that's what makes it really difficult. So right here, they did this really cool thing where they put music in the game that's Star Wars music and is copyrighted. and if I don't mute the volume while the music is playing, I get a copyright strike when I upload this. So yeah, when I go into the audio options, literally the only option there is master volume. What percent do you want it at? So they didn't even give me an option to turn the music down or off, which is what I would prefer. But anyway, that's one annoying thing about this beta. There's one or two annoying things, but that's kind of the main one. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying about the balance issues on the map, one of the things that we did finally discover is that these ion grenades, Velo figured out that these ion grenades do massive amounts of damage to vehicles and shields. And so when you use them, you can take them down really quick. It's just really hard to get up on them. These AT-ATs and the AT-STs, they're like these big Titan style things. And so actually getting close enough to bomb one is pretty difficult. And you saw there, he took off like almost half the health of that thing. And like that turret that I just died to, one grenade kills it. So here I just switched over to those ion grenades and I'm trying to bomb this guy, but I missed because I do a terrible throw. And then Velo hits him and blows him up instantly with like a ton of health left. That amount of health would have taken like 6 rebels shooting at it to take the thing down. So anyway, I'm going to turn the volume back up so you guys can hear this next clip. Actually, I lied. This clip has music in it too, but you can see him he chucks this grenade, blows the thing up to like a sliver of health, and I just finish it off like one tap, destroy the thing. So anyway, here's the clip.
Wait, enemy locking on me? What? An infantry turret there.
Damn, dude! And as you can tell by the immediate fade out, the music kicks right back in again, and I have to mute it. But anyway, this is the other mode that I was telling you guys about. This is the drop pod mode or drop zone mode. I forget what it's called. Protect the pod. Anyway, could have been a bunch of names. But anyway, basically you're on this really rock world map, and I don't recognize this from any specific Star Wars tale or movie, but you're on this real rocky planet, and there's these drop pods that come out of the sky. You can see that little blue indicator on the upper left hand side of the screen that show you where the pods are. And when the pods come down, it's kind of like a hard point where you go in and you capture the pod, but you don't actually have to sit there and stand on it, which is pretty cool. It's not like a hard point where, you stand on the thing and like one grenade comes in and wipes out the entire defending team. You can actually capture the pod and then set up a defense around the pod and try to hold it. So this mode, personally, I thought was a lot more fun, just because, it's you only have to go with the gun imbalance, and there's really no gun imbalance. Most of the guns are pretty well balanced. There's the medium gun that you see me using here is kind of like a carbine where it just does medium damage. It shoots at a medium speed. It kind of heats up fairly quick. There's a heavy machine gun that does less damage but shoots faster and heats up a little slower. So the guns are pretty well balanced. The gun balance on the beta is surprisingly good. I really like it. There's a pistol gun that is going to be coming up here in a later clip where it shoots really, really fast and does a lot of damage, but it only does a lot of damage up close. Far away, it does a lot less damage. So, like I said, everything's pretty well balanced. They did a good job with all of that. And at the same time, nothing there, I haven't found a gun yet that feels overpowered or anything like that. Obviously, this cycle rifle that I keep getting all these headshots with could be overpowered, but the fact that it's one shot and then there's a cooldown for a little while is pretty nice. The other thing is headshots are very, very, very strong. Like, they may even be more than a 2x multiplier. They're probably not. They're probably a 100% bonus to headshots, but they're very strong. If you hit headshots, you should be going for headshots. But if you hit them, you can drop them dudes pretty quick. And so this little card system that you see as well on the right-hand side is kind of cool too. You actually get to choose essentially what your secondaries are based on cards. So where my one slot is the cycle rifle, the sniper rifle, it could be a grenade. It could be an arc nade. They have those are the arc nades that me and Velo were throwing around that are pretty powerful against vehicles. They can be the jetpack, and then the number 2 slot, that little gold card, can either be what's called an ion blaster that modifies your gun and makes it more effective against vehicles and shields and takes them down a lot faster. It actually modifies your bullets, and you shoot like these blue balls of death at the same gun speed for a little while. Or you can do in that second slot, or you could do a personal shield. And that personal shield is literally a shield where you can't shoot out of. So you can melee within it though, and you can get meleeed, but it just creates a little shield for a short amount of time that protects you from main primary gunfire, essentially. So the cycle rifle can still shoot through it, and grenades can still blow you up through that shield. So like I said, everything is pretty well balanced. They do a pretty good job of all that. And then as well, you've probably seen some of these little blue glowy things sitting around on the ground. Those are various power-ups, and they seem to have the same spawn points, but they seem to spawn randomly as far as what they are. So it's not like each card is the exact, or each power-up, is the exact same thing. Some of the power-ups are thermal grenades, which are like, they're the same thing as the regular grenades. They're just much more powerful. There's like a smart rocket thing that locks onto vehicles, but you can also shoot it at personnel. You can dumbfire it. There is a charge thing. So like I told you, the number 2 slot is the personal shield or the ion blaster, where it modifies your gun to be able to be more effective against vehicles. So that modifier has charges to it. So it's not on the same cooldown system. It's basically you can only have 10 of these at a time. And then once you use them, you actually have to pick up charges on the battlefield to replenish them. So it does still have a cooldown, assuming you have enough charges, but you also have to manage these charges. So if you only have 2 of them, then you can only use it twice, and then you can't use it until you pick up a charge again. But some of the other power-ups are things like even vehicles, like on this, back to this Walker assault mode, you can get in the airplanes, the wings, the jet fighters, the TIE fighters, the A fighters, the X-wings, all those things, the ATSTs, the AT-ATs, all those are pickup power-ups, as well as becoming the baddest dudes of them all, Mr. Luke Skywalker and the Darth Vader himself. You pick up a hero power-up, and you can become them for a short amount of time. And it's kind of, I think you start at about 100 health, and then it slowly ticks off like once a second. So you can only be them for a maximum of 100 seconds, but each time you get shot, or if you run over a grenade, you lose some of that time as well. So even at best, you can only be that hero for so long before your time runs out and you lose them. Same thing with the biggest walker on the field. You can get inside that guy and be the main gunner for that walker. They just give you a solid minute on it, so there's no modifiers for damage. You don't lose time for being damaged. You just are that for a minute, and you're in there, and you got big old huge cannons and a really high view above the battlefield, and you just go tearing things up, and it's a lot of fun. So anyway, the beta's pretty fun. Overall, after playing it for a couple days now, I don't think this would actually be something I would buy. Mainly the imbalance on the Walker Assault mode is kind of frustrating, even with the good weapon balance. But it's really annoying. It's not a game you can play by yourself, it seems like, because there's so much chaos, and because so many of the random pubbies don't really know what they're doing. It's too difficult to overcome that by yourself. So you need to be playing with a bunch of people in order to really get coordinated. But obviously it's really fun to be one of these Walker, the ATSTs, it's a whole bunch of fun. But if you're on the other side and you're just getting destroyed over and over again, it's like it becomes not fun very, very quickly. So it's obviously it's a tough balancing act to make it really fun for one side, but also not feel like you're getting gut punched by the other side when you're on the receiving end of those huge overpowered vehicles. So anyway, that's kind of my thoughts on the game. Like I said, I don't think I'll end up buying it, unless just a lot of my friends end up buying it, and then I'll probably get it just to every once in a while jump into a giant Battle of Hoth. Plus, I'm sure they'll be doing all kinds of other ones. I'd be really disappointed if they didn't do something on Endor. I'd love to be able to jump on that and maybe do like a speeder race and do some fights on those speeders. That would be really fun. So there's plenty of cool things they can do, but they just got to execute it a little bit better than they've done in the beta. And they have acknowledged some of the beta problems already, and they said they know that the Rebel side is a little too weak and that they're probably going to have to work on it. So that's a good sign at least. So maybe a little further down the road, people who have played it more, they can say that those problems have been fixed. I'll give it another shot. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll probably, maybe on next week, if I get like a really good gameplay, I'll just post like a solid gameplay so you can see something start to finish. If you guys are interested in that. If you're not interested in that, let me know, and we'll just get back to the same old. But anyway, if you've played the beta though, let me know what you think about it and what your thoughts are, and if you like it, and if you plan to end up buying it. So I kind of want to hear that and why you liked it or why you didn't like it. So yeah, anyway, hope you guys have a fantastic rest of the weekend or rest of the week whenever you're watching this, and enjoy.
This will finish. Just another traitor down. You got what you deserve. There was never a question. Your overconfidence was your undoing. All rebels will share your fate.